Let me talk to you. Let me take you on a little journey. Tell you a little story about a young, simple man who learned a new foundation, respect, and outlook on what we call today studio wrestling. There's a company called the National Wrestling Alliance. This young man stumbled upon it during its rebirth, you could say. It all started for me back at the 70th anniversary, where I was introduced to Camille, continued to be looked into with the likes of Nick Aldis. And I looked at what was going on here and the stories being told and the prestige of these 10-pound piece of gold. And then you move forward and you have this new weekly syndicated YouTube series bringing a different outlook to wrestling called NWA Power, which was simple. There was no bright LEDs. There was no pipe noise. There was no over-the-top fanatics. It was just men doing what they love for us, and that is professional wrestling. This series happened to go on for not even 25 episodes worth and brought back such a newfound respect and positive outlet to professional wrestling. And then the world fell into chaos. And you wondered, would this ever return? Well, it's back. Back for the attack. And I could not be more happy as a professional wrestling fan. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good night, and good afternoon if you're watching this live to you all. My name is Noah Foster, and I am a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. Welcome to this simple outtake where I give you my preview and predicts towards NWA's Back for the Attack pay-per-view. Available for $20 on the Fight TV app, and literally it's just been a couple of hours. I feel like doing this because, honestly, I have become a huge fan of the NWA, and I found a new respect for it as a young under 30-year-old wrestling fan who's been given this outlook for the likes of great friends like Mark Griffith and, of course, good old JM Jeff Meacham. I look at people who's been through this that I've known through the industry like the Rock and Roll Express and good old JR Jim Ross. And you look at today's wrestlers and all the various promotions, and it's like, this is something really special. But it's amazing how far that history goes back with this. With that being said, I'm here to give you a simple outlook in what you can expect from this show, what this is about, and what it's going to lead to. So with that being said, I think I've jabbered on enough. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Before I begin, I do want to say one more thing. This is, of course, a show in memory and tribute to one Josephus, a.k.a. the person we've come to know as the question mark. All hail Monrovia. And I'm not doing the national anthem because I will not do it properly. With that being said, why don't we get ahead right into this fun little card? Our opening bout is a four-way that has featured returns and debuts, as you have Jack Stane, a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, 11 years in the game, last seen, according to my notes, in the Crockett Cup, but has been involved in Impact as well, also been in the ring with the likes of Tim Storm. You also have Slice Boogie, very young, up and coming, 2 years in the game, been in the ring with Davey Boy Smith, Danny Limelight, and even the late, great Shad Gaspar. Joining Clearwater, representing NJPW Strong, coming up a loss to Hikaleo, but has been in the ring with Nick Aldis. And last but not least, the returning Crimson. Many people might know him from Impact Wrestling with a short run there, as well as he was involved also in the Crockett Cup as well. This is a very interesting match for me because I feel like right here you're looking at four new foundations for the NWA, and I'm not really sure who is the most favorite to win this. I do look at the guy that has the NWA experience, and you think, okay, maybe that will give him like a slight edge. But I wonder also how familiar he is with these other names as well. But looking at this match and thinking about, obviously, this could potentially lead to maybe who could go after 10 pounds of gold. I'm actually going to give it to the veteran here and say that Jack Stane picks up the win. Looking at some of his previous work, I must say I'm impressed with his style. He's a bit of a freelancer. He's also a powerhouse brawler type style. So that's my brief thoughts on that. Moving on from there, we go into an interesting match of heavyweights as J.R. Kratos, one half of the NWA World Tag Team Champions. He takes on, hey, y'all remember this guy? Tyrus, who of course has been working on recently with some stuff with Fox ever since leaving the WWE, had a short run in Impact Wrestling where he was the bodyguard for one Ethan Carter III, EC3, as well as iconic Matt Hardy. JR Kratos, many people might know from now as NJPW Strong, member of Team Filthy. He just recently lost to Fred Rosser, so he will not be involved in the New Japan Cup USA, but JR Kratos and the guy we'll talk about later are currently the NWA World Tag Team Champions, taking the belts off of Eli Drake and James Storm during the, let's call it a small reboot of the NWA called Shockwave. Very good match, by the way, too. I suggest you go watch it. Looking at this match, this is Tyrus's debut. He is taking on one half of the tag champs. I think it's going to be a strong showing, but I feel that JR Kratos is going to go over here in the end. Now, following that, the rest of the matches they're giving us, they're all title bouts. And this really could set up the identity, I feel like, for the NWA now that's back. And by the way, NWA Power, you all might remember this show, Into the Fire. I don't know if they're going to have that theme, but I hope they do. It will be available on the Fight TV app exclusively now for a small subscription service fee of $5. I highly suggest you all check it out. Let's give some support to this great foundation of professional wrestling for decades. With that being said, let's go into our first title match of the evening. It is the Pope, the NWA World Television Champion. He takes on Tom Latimer, a member of Strictly Business, one half of the Wild Cards, of course, with Royce Isaacs. So this is intriguing to me because Pope, of course, has always his own agenda. He's very loudmouth, outspoken, but he's also very charismatic, and he does get his work done in the ring, by hook or by crook. As, of course, he did win this title off outlandish Ziggy Dice. And, of course, I'm sure the Super 7's in play, too, where if he gets 7 wins in a row while holding this title, and I believe this is his first defense now of the title, he will get, of course, an NWA World Championship match. With that being said, I feel like right now this could be very interesting, as this is Thomas Latimer's first real singles outbreak since being a tag team specialist. And people might know him formerly as Bram from Impact Wrestling, so he definitely can get it done. But can he get it done against the Pope and head into the NWA now as the new national champion? I figure about Pope had the bouncers women from Ring of Honor. He's obviously not going to have them here, I imagine. I suspect there's going to be some sort of surprises here. But I'm actually going to give it to... I'm going to say the Pope retains, and I'm going to say this doesn't just stop here. For now, I'm going to say that the Pope retains, though. So let's move on to our next match. And again, 2 names you all might be very familiar with, especially my fellow WWE fans of old. You remember the team of Trevor Murdoch and Lance Cade? Well, Trevor Murdoch, who has shown incredible passion and heart, he is now the NWA National Heavyweight Champion, taking the title off a man we will talk about later, Aaron Stevens, and he takes on Chris Adonis, the masterpiece. Chris Masters, remember that name? Also formerly involved in Impact Wrestling with Eli Drake. So this should be very interesting. I feel that definitely Chris Adonis will have the advantage here when it comes to speed and youth. But Trevor Murdoch, he brings heart and experience. And we've seen how far he is willing to go to get the win by, of course, all honorable measures. But if that full Nelson gets locked in, if Chris Adonis still applies that, I think, honestly, we might have a new, let me make sure I get this right, NWA National Heavyweight Champion. And I feel that Chris Adonis, this could be a brand new positive outlook for him and a great new start. And with the way that wrestling right now really is becoming open up and trying to bring back the territory days, you got to wonder how this all will play out for everybody involved here, especially considering what our next match is, and I am super excited for it. This has been the match I've been waiting for ever since he's back on NWA Power, where, might I add, this young lady, one of the best professional fighters, I got it right, Thunder Rosa, in the world, she takes on the unbeaten Brickhouse in Camille. Let me go ahead and break this down for you. So Thunder Rosa, she had a match of the year candidate, in my opinion, beating Allison Kay back on January 24th, 2020, back at NWA High Times. If you all didn't go see that preview of that match, I highly recommend it. And she basically held the title for practically the whole year, constantly defending it and showcasing it. There's one person, though, that stepped up, that teased this match that I was like, this needs to happen. And it never did. It finally comes to heaven and more contendership, and that is Camille. Ever since Camille came out and showed us more of her personality from already her incredible in-ring style and showcase. And of course, she has been on a roll, beating Simone Scherp and Heather Monroe recently on Shockwave. And she has yet to be beaten in ring in the NWA. I feel like right now, Camille will be Thunder Rosa's toughest test to date in the NWA. But considering what Thunder Rosa recently just went through, for my fellow wrestling fans, you watched AEW, dear God, this freaking match. But I digress. I feel like right here, considering that the current NWA Women's World Champion is one Serena Deeb, currently injured, I would love to see Camille involved in AEW. I would love to see Camille versus Serena Deeb, who I feel breathes new life, not only into this title, but into women's wrestling. And I couldn't be happier for her, and the fact that she's happy for that, too. I hope she gets well soon. With that being said, I know Deeb right now, she's already conquered one hurdle, but she still has two other things on her agenda, and one of those other things is getting back that title that she successfully defended against Allison Kay in a rematch, and another key match year candidate against Priscilla Kelly last year at Shockwave in December. With that being said, I feel like right now, this is going to be a really hard match to call. Definitely is my match that I'm looking forward to. I'm going to give it to, because I do want to see Camille really push forward. I honestly thought Camille could be a future NWA Women's World Champion. So I'm going to say somehow, and maybe she learned a thing from Aldous or two, being the insurance policy, I think Camille's going to pull it out. I'm going to say that Camille somehow gets win here. Maybe somebody from past NWA Power shows up and tries to cost Thunder Rosa here. Regardless, Thunder Rosa is going to continue to showcase why women's wrestling is so important, so valuable, can be the main event, and should be respected. I am looking very forward to this match. This probably will be my match of the night. Good luck to both incredible female athletes. But Camille is my pick to actually win this match. Because again, she's undefeated. Simple as that. Which brings us now to what definitely feels like the most emotional, important match of the night and the foundation itself of the National Wrestling Alliance. Sweet Charlotte, 10 pounds of gold, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, this very belt you see around Nick Aldis' waist have been held by the likes of every great in professional wrestling across the world. Ric Flair, Tatsumi Fujinami, Dusty Rhodes, Harley Race, Tim Storm. There's been people with short moments that have claimed this to be their greatest accomplishment, including but not limited to Cody, Sting. Other greats include Rob Calloway, Jax Dane, like I said earlier, Adam Pearce, WWE official, and of course, I can't forget about my New Japan guys in Satoshi Kojima and Hiroyoshi Tenzan. But Nick Aldis, he has basically held this title since NWA's 70th anniversary show, where we got to introduce by his insurance policy, Camille. And basically, it's just been strictly business for him since October 21st, 2018, as he's had successful defenses against James Storm, Tim Storm, and of course, most recently, I believe, was Flip Gordon. Oh, no, excuse me, botch. It was Mike Bennett. And I also wonder if Mike Bennett and Maria are going to show up here during the show, too. Kudos to Mike Bennett keeping it real. With that being said, this match was pushed forward in the late great memory of course, the question mark, a.k.a. Josephus, who unfortunately left us at a very sad time earlier, I believe, this year. And, of course, we are not going to get the comical guy that you usually saw with him that always wanted people to be silent. It will be the real Aaron Stevens, as he looks to see Nick Aldis to make one mistake. But the bottom line, Nick Aldis is going to do everything to retain it, and Aaron Stevens is going to do everything to proclaim it. This match is going to be extremely emotionally driven. It's going to be personal, but for Nick Aldis in the day, once that bell rings, it's strictly business. This right here is going to set up the foundation for the return of NWA Power this coming Tuesday. Yes, I will be watching it. I don't know if I'll be reviewing it. Depends on time. With that being said, I look at strictly business, and I wonder the state of the wild cards with Royce Isaacs being involved now in AEW Dark, maybe Latimer going on his own singles run. I think about Camille, and maybe she could become a future NWA Women's World Champion. And Nick Aldis, of course, he has led by example this entire span of the NWA, like it or not. I feel like here, though, right now, Nick Aldis I don't think he's really let up as far as his preparation and his overall concentration on defending and showcasing this title. And I feel like right now, Aaron Stevens is going to give us the best puzzle match of his career since he was humbled and reignited to appreciate wrestling for the fans, the showcase, the art by Josephus. Who knows? Maybe he'll even do some Agrovian karate. But I feel like personally that Nick Aldis will retain, but there will be a humble show of respect at the very end. And as far as where we go from here, I don't know. Will somebody show up and confront Nick Aldis? What is the future of the NWA and all these titles? How do we rebuild this brand? We had great guys and ladies during Shockwave that impressed us, like Watts and, of course, Heather Monroe. I don't know at this point. And again, a lot of the town is swaying across other places, but I could see other people coming back. Who knows? We might get Ricky Stark show up. We might get Eddie Kingston showing up again. I wouldn't mind seeing that, Drew. And I feel like they still have ties with Ring of Honor, despite one guy you'll probably never see again. With that being said, the bottom line is this. If you want to look at something that is a positive, simple, focused showcase of professional wrestling, valued on integrity and decades of history, I would highly recommend checking out this pay-per-view. Simple $20 on Fight TV. I don't think you'll be disappointed, and I think it might pleasantly surprise you. And if you like that, then I definitely would suggest you check out NWA Power this coming Tuesday on the Fight TV app for only $5. And let's see what they bring as they head into, I believe it's episode 23 now, because the last one was a Super Power. So, bottom line is this. I'm extremely happy to see the NWA back, and I'm really looking forward to this simple pay-per-view. And we literally have 1 hour and 42 minutes to go to it. And who knows? Maybe I'll even do a simple review afterwards. But what are your thoughts and opinions in the NWA? Have you ever watched it before? Are you familiar with it? Do you understand it? Do you appreciate it? Are you curious what the showcase of it is? Let me know in the comments down below, or I'd love to chat and mingle with you while I just give my last thoughts. The bottom line is this. Welcome back to the NWA. I'm sure it's going to be led by Joe Garrelli on commentary, probably solo at this point. Kudos to Billy Corgan and keeping this alive. And I look forward to getting that natural type feel in GB Studios, even if it might be empty, because I still don't know if they're going to have fans or not. But bottom line is this. Appreciate wrestling. Appreciate the NWA. And respect and remember the question mark. Simple as that. With that being said, I thank you so much for tuning in, and I do hope you enjoyed this simple preview and predict. You want to know more about me? Know this. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. So follow me on Twitter, @nfoster1916, Instagram @nfoster1916. Also follow this YouTube channel here for random, simple, live, out of nowhere preview, predictions, content, wrestling outlooks, and reacts, and more at youtube.com/Noel Foster 210 for all things wrestling. Shout out to my ATW family on Twitter. With that being said, stay tuned as I will be doing an AEW Spark covering the last 2 weeks. That's basically the resolution, botch. And I'll be talking more about that, maybe with somebody. There'll be continued coverage on WWE content as well as we head towards the road to WrestleMania. So stay tuned for more on that. Special podcast previews and forums coming up, as well as further discussions on AEW Spark and New Japan as the New Japan Cup now is concluded and we head towards Sakura Genesis. As always, folks, I like to close. There are no winners. There are no losers. There are no betters in professional wrestling as fans. There are just fans, whether you're in the ring, out of the ring, watch the ring, wash the ring, light the ring, period. We all share some sort of connection, positive individual outlook for this art, sport, whatever you want to call it, that we simply call wrestling. So at the end of the day, folks, just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. Simple as that. With that being said, thank you again so much for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell, know this video goes live on this channel. Hit the subscribe button, help me keep growing this channel. Shout out to all 193 of you that's been with me on this fun YouTuber creator's journey. It's not letting up anytime soon, I promise you. I keep it simple. This is just simple fans' love for professional wrestling, bringing you his outlook for a passion that literally it's the only thing he watches, lives, eats, and breathes on TV and along his walls. So connect with me or just connect with wrestling. Give wrestling a chance if you haven't already. So I guess until the conclusion of Back for the Attack, and with Fastlane also tonight, I hope you all take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families and enjoy wrestling. Be smart, be safe, wear a mask. Don't, live in constant fear, worry, discern. Don't be so negative against the world. It's going to get better. It has to. You just have to put your faith and focus into it and make every day as best as you can by you for the simplest of means. Again, I'm humbled just to be a wrestling fan, and I'm even humbler to have even talked to the likes of Jeff Cobble, great NWA referee official, Jared Fritz, Fernando Rosa, and Royce Isaacs. I don't know if I would get into interviewing wrestlers, but I mean, if simply a wrestler is another person, why not try and just engage in that conversation or at least show your support? Something as simple as a like. At the end of the day, don't make wrestling about you. Make wrestling about all, too. So I'm going to leave you all with that, and I will bid you a fine adieu. Please check out the NWA pay-per-view, Back for the Attack, if you haven't already. And again, I feel like this is going to be my match of the night, but I'm really looking forward to all 6 of these matches. It should be a nice, fun, simple showcase of wrestling. And if you haven't already, I also highly recommend go check out the Rhodes Academy Showcase, where last night Dustin Rhodes showed us what passion and what a dream can lead to, bringing us the future of pro wrestling through his little form. I would love to personally go there and see that live in action myself. Good grief, Shauna Reed, you were amazing. Amazing, everybody, men and women wise. Good luck, Mons. Thank you again, folks, and until next time, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a wonderful day.